I come to you today as someone who grew up in New Orleans, a city full of soul and strength, but also full of struggle. I've seen firsthand what it looks like to go to school hungry, and I've stood in line with my mom multiple times, watched her use SNAP and food stamps to make sure I have something decent to eat for the week. These programs help raise me, and I know how they work. But they can work better and for more people. So today I'm going to share 3 critical recommendations from the White House Conference on Hunger, Nutrition, and Health across 3 different areas that I believe can change lives just like they help mine. So the first one I choose is recommendation number 1, in the domain of federal nutrition programs and expanding access to federal nutrition programs. So the problem is programs like SNAP and WIC are lifelines, and I know this because my family used them, but way too many people who need these benefits either don't qualify or can't get through like the red tape, so to say. Families are getting denied because they just make a little too much, or they give up halfway through the application because it's confusing and overwhelming. And what I think should be done is we can expand eligibility and make enrollment easier. Also, we can make them more convenient, especially for those who are juggling jobs, kids, and just trying to survive in general. So we could raise the income limits to affect today's reality. We can make the applications simpler and mobile friendly, and we can also ensure that everyone who qualifies actually gets the help. And I think this is necessary because, according to the USDA, millions of eligible people aren't receiving SNAP or WIC benefits, and we know from research that when families get the help, food insecurity drops and nutrition improves, and I'm living proof of that. I didn't always have much, but those programs helped me stay fed, stay focused, and eventually helped me, turn to who I am today. My second point is I think we should strengthen federal nutrition education, which is recommendation number 7, and this is under the domain of public health and nutrition education. So I probably think the problem is that we're surrounded by flashy junk food and the marketing for those foods and things like that, and most people never really learn the basics on how to eat right. And I've noticed this by just people around me, and me too, as just like I'm physical proof of that. Growing up and just eat whatever. I'm just seeing the commercials for the junk foods and things like that. And a lot of people don't know what a balanced meal is, and it's not because we don't care, just that no one ever showed us, and that's like a setup for long-term problems. So what I think should be done is we should strengthen programs like SNAP Ed and the WIC Nutrition Education, which are programs that educate people on SNAP, like food stamps and WIC and things like that. And I think we should get this information to the people who need it the most in schools and clinics and communities, and we should make sure that it's practical, relatable, and culturally relevant to what's going on today, so that it's easy for everyone to understand. I think this is necessary because research shows that when families receive nutrition education, they make better choices and see lasting health benefits. And if we invest in education now, we save lives and money later. And more importantly, we help young people like me and people around my age group make decisions that set them up for success on and off of the things they do, like in school, out of school, on the field, off the field. The third thing I think is in the domain of healthcare, I think we should accelerate the access to food as medicine, which is recommendation number 13. So the problem is we build a healthcare system that hands out pills but rarely asks what's on someone's plate, what they're eating, things like that. And a poor diet is usually the leading cause of preventable death in America. And I've seen a lot of people in my family get prescriptions for everything except the one thing that matters most, which is food. And what I think we could do to fix this is we need to bring food as medicine into every hospital, and the idea of food as medicine. That means letting doctors prescribe healthy food, providing medically tailored meals for people with chronic illness, making sure the insurance covers it all. Also, it's not available for most people under the insurance aspect. And I think this is necessary because medically tailored meal programs have shown to reduce hospital visits by 49% and have cut the cost by 16%. So when we treat food like medicine, people recover faster, stay healthier, and avoid serious complications down the line. And that's just not being compassionate, that's being smart about it. And in closing, from the whole thing, I was raised by my mom who leaned on programs like SNAP and WIC, and I've seen people get pushed to their limits in life by battling hunger and poor health and misinformation, and we can do better to fix that. So I ask that, not just for these policies, but for people, we expand the access to nutrition programs, teach communities how to eat well, and let food be the medicine it always had the power to be. Thank you.